inside of me, the grandfather saying, is a battle, a fight, always being perpetrated inside of me. And he said, it is a terrible fight. He said, it is a fight between the two worlds. The two worlds fighting always inside of me. And he said, one wolf is good. So, that wolf lives only for anger because one is evil and the other one is good. So the one which is evil fighting against the one which is good. So the one which is evil always lives for anger and greed, for arrogance and all those selfishness and everything. And the wolf which is good always lives for peace and hope inside of me, for humility, for generosity, compassion, all those gifts of the Spirit that we read in the Bible, the good wolf. And the grandfather said, the same fight is going on inside of you, telling his grandson. And he said, in fact, these wolves, these two wolves, always fight inside of each and every one, with no exception. But the grandson was listening, was like, huh? So, which wolf will win between the two? And the grandfather said, the wolf which will win is the one you feed. The one you always feed on a daily basis. You wake up in the morning, you feed it, you feed that wolf. Lunchtime, you feed it. At a proper time, you feed. Whenever you feel hungry, you feed. Whenever you feel the battle is going on, you feed that wolf. It's the one which will win. Maybe the grandson understood, or maybe he didn't understand. But the thing is, this kind of saying reminds us that the wolf that will win will always be the one we feed. That's how it is. That's the lesson, the meaning of the story. The one that we feed is the one winning. And as we came to this place from our homes, from different parts of the city, Busan, our intent and our purpose was to be fed. We came hungry and spiritually, huh? Maybe you took your breakfasts, but you feel an emptiness in ourselves. And that's why I said, I need to get up early and go to church because I want to be fed. So we get fed of insights and understanding. We need to understand, we need to get more wisdom to be able to live in this earth or to finish our journey of faith. Because we do not want to get stuck. We want to continue until that last day. So we want to get the wisdom, we want to get the compassion, we want to get the faith to get all of those, we need to be fed. We need to feed the spirit. And that's why we are here. So that means the wolf that we feed becomes that which lives and breathes inside of us. That the one that has life. The more you feed it, the more it grows. The more it grows. So this story of wolf leads well into our gospel of John, chapter 6, where Jesus names himself as the very food for our souls. He said, I am the food of your souls. So you need to eat me, to eat on me, and to drink on me. Amazing. So Jesus fills us and shapes us for different purposes. He fills us and shapes us for mission and ministry. He fills us and shapes us for life and faith. We need to live, but we also need to continue our journey of faith. We also need to be healthy, physically and spiritually. And Jesus said at the very beginning of a passage, I am the living bread that came down from heaven. The living bread, not only the bread, but the living bread that came down from heaven. It's not the bread that you used to see around in the patisseries, but it's the bread that came from heaven, very fresh bread. So, as you know, bread is something very important for us all. Bread is one of the basic food that we ever have. Very basic. You can just eat bread and at least some water and survive the whole day or even every day. Bread is very important, and that's why Jesus used it to teach about himself, about him and his ministry, about who he is in our lives. And I think the Koreans may understand this more than other people. As you know, in some languages, bread and food are likely the same thing. Almost same thing, actually same. The same word, the same meaning. In some East Asian countries, and especially in Korea, when we talk about Korea, the word for rice and food, it's same, has the same meaning. I think, except some few of us, you know pop 먹었어요? Huh? 밥 먹었어요? Huh? Right. So, I know pop basically means rice. But in Korea, it doesn't mean exactly rice. It means food. everyday food. So if Jesus was Korean, how would he express this kind of concept? If Jesus was Korean, if Jesus had ever been Korean, he would have probably spoken about rice. He would probably have spoken about papoon. Right? I am the pap of life. I think he will say like that. And all the Koreans will totally understand what his meaning. So in this sense, Jesus Christ is our most basic need that fills our hunger. Because he is the papoon. He is the food that we look for on a daily basis, every day, every morning. But more than that, Jesus said, I am the living bread. It's not only the bread the pap that we eat every morning, but he said, I am beyond that one, the one you eat on a daily basis, the one you fight for. I am the living bread that came freshly from heaven. And you may ask yourself what that living bread means for us. What does it mean? So, it means that Jesus fills us up. That's the meaning. Jesus fills us up, and Jesus lives in us. That's the meaning. He came from heaven to fill us. The very first mission of Jesus Christ, because he knew we were lacking that food. That food that can satisfy us, once for all. He fills us and he lives in us. And if you dig much deeper, you will find like this is a promise. It's an incredible promise that Jesus fills us up. Jesus satisfies us. And this is even beyond the promise of the Holy Communion when we get together and eat and drink just together as we fellowship. And as you know, Jesus fills us with what? With the Word of God. He fills us with the Word of God. That Word that became flesh. In John chapter 1. And therefore, from here you can understand that Jesus Christ is proven to be our living bread, because he can